Hi, my name is Rebecca Steinhauser, and I'm the Managing Attorney for Healthcare and Public Benefits at Advocates for Basic Legal Equality. We're live today because we know a lot of people have questions about unemployment compensation benefits during the COVID-19 pandemic. We know that a record number of you may be newly unemployed, and we want to offer some helpful information to you. We're going to give people a couple minutes to join the live feed before we begin. Looks like people are starting to join the live feed. So today we're going to start telling you about the basic requirements for unemployment compensation benefits and some of the new benefits that are available under the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program due to COVID-19. We do have a few ground rules. If you have a general question, you can put it in the comment box, and I'll try to answer as many general questions as I can. Do not ask questions about your specific situation. This is general legal information about unemployment in Ohio only. It's not legal advice, and you should be aware that information regarding the new legislation and its interpretation does continue to change. The information we're providing today is current as of April 22nd, 2020. I'm not your lawyer, but you may need help from a lawyer. There's a link in the comments with a map to ABLE's service area. If you live in one of the highlighted counties, you can apply for help by calling our legal aid line at 888-534-1432 or by applying online at www.legalaidline.org or by clicking the attached link here. Let's get started. You may have seen our last Facebook Live video about some changes to unemployment as a result of the new stimulus packages that were recently passed in Congress. Before you can become eligible for the additional benefits due to COVID-19, you must first meet the basic requirements for unemployment compensation. Today I'll talk about those basic requirements, and then I'll cover some of the new exceptions to those requirements that are available under the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. The Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program is available to help cover individuals who wouldn't normally be eligible to receive unemployment benefits, such as self-employed or gig workers, workers who don't meet minimum wage requirements, and part-time workers. Let's talk about unemployment and what it takes to qualify. To qualify, you must meet basic requirements. What are those basic requirements? So traditionally, to qualify for unemployment, you would have to have worked 20 weeks in 12 of the last 16 months, which is called the base period. And traditionally, you would have had to earn an average of $269 per week, which is called the minimum weekly earning requirement. Some of these rules were changed for people who are eligible for unemployment because of COVID-19. I'm going to go through each of the requirements and discuss how you qualify for unemployment and some of the changes to the rules due to COVID-19. The first basic requirement I'm going to discuss is the minimum earning requirement. So to qualify for unemployment compensation, there's normally a requirement that you earn an average of $269 weekly. Wages can include other types of compensation, such as bonuses, vacation pay, commission, or disability payments. Wages for multiple jobs can be combined to meet the minimum weekly earning requirement. However, new federal funding, called Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, is now available to self-employed or gig workers and part-time workers who don't necessarily earn $269 per week and are unemployed because of COVID-19. The next basic requirement I'm going to talk about is what's called the actively seeking work requirement. To qualify for unemployment, there's normally a requirement you actively be seeking work. This requirement has been waived for people who lost their jobs or had hours reduced because of COVID-19. The third requirement I'm going to discuss is called the able and available for work requirement. To qualify for unemployment, there's a requirement that you be able and available for work. This requirement is still in place. What does it mean to be able and available for work? It means you must be physically and mentally able to work when you apply for benefits and during each week that you file a claim for benefits. Able and available also means you must be ready and willing to accept suitable work you can reasonably perform based on your prior training, experience, or education. Able and available for work is very dependent on your unique circumstances. You must have good cause to refuse work. Next, I'm going to talk about an area where some of the rules have changed, and that's the base period requirement. Earlier, I mentioned that traditionally you must have worked at least 20 weeks in 12 of the last 16 months to qualify for unemployment compensation. This is called the base period. Again, there's normally that requirement that you work 20 weeks during the base period. However, the base period requirement will be waived for people who are eligible to receive pandemic unemployment assistance. As a reminder, that new program is federally funded and it expands unemployment benefits to include self-employed or gig workers and part-time workers who are unemployed due to COVID-19. Those benefits won't be available in Ohio until mid-May, but I'll talk a little bit more about how to qualify for those benefits later on during this Facebook Live. There's also a requirement that you be involuntarily unemployed or without fault in causing your unemployment. This requirement is still in place. You must be without fault to qualify for unemployment compensation. Without fault is defined as behavior that an ordinary person would refer to as just cause. Without fault is also very dependent on your unique circumstances. If you're not able to work because your doctor, healthcare agency, or employer requests that you isolate or quarantine due to COVID-19, you're without fault and may be eligible for unemployment. If your employer lays you off due to loss of production caused by COVID-19, you're without fault and may be eligible for unemployment. You do not need to be diagnosed with COVID-19. There's also a requirement to qualify that you've been employed in certain job categories. Not every type of job is eligible for unemployment benefits. For example, National Guard members are not eligible. Some agricultural workers are not eligible. Some church and school employees are not eligible. And sheltered workshop employees are not eligible. If you think you qualify for benefits, you will need to apply. So how do you apply? You can apply in two ways. You can apply on the website at unemployment.ohio.gov 24 hours a day, or you can call the telephone line at 877-644-6562. The telephone lines are open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. These are expanded hours due to high call volume. If you are unemployed due to COVID-19 and you are asked for a mass layoff number when you apply, you are going to enter number 2000180. If you apply for unemployment and you're denied, you do have appeal rights. An appeal means you're going to ask for a second look at your application. You normally have 21 days to appeal from the date of the notice, so we advise that you appeal as soon as you get the notice. You should keep applying for benefits for claims every week. And the attached link again shows ABLE's service area. If you live in one of the highlighted counties, you can apply for help by calling our legal aid line intake number at 888-534-1432. or by applying online at www.legalaidline.org or by clicking the link here. If you do not live in one of our counties, but you live in the state of Ohio, you can find your local legal aid organization at www.ohiolegalhelp.org. Once you're approved for benefits, you're probably curious about how much money you'll receive. The amount of your unemployment benefit will vary based on your previous earnings and the number of your dependents. What dependents can be claimed? You can claim your spouse or you can claim your children. You can claim your spouse if you're legally married at least 90 days before the year you began receiving benefits, or for the length of the marriage if you've been married for less than 90 days. You must live with your spouse. Your spouse must have income less than 25% of your weekly wage, and you must provide more than 50% of your spouse's financial support. You can claim your children who are natural, adopted, or stepchildren. You can claim children up to age 18, or you can claim them over age 18 if they have a permanent disability and they are not able to work. You must have provided more than 50% of that child's financial support. If your child turns 18 during the period that you're receiving benefits, you will still continue to receive benefits for that child. But if the child is born during the period you start receiving benefits, the child cannot be added to that claim. So what's the maximum amount of money you can receive? If you're single with no dependents, generally the maximum is $480 weekly. If you have one or two dependents, the maximum is $582 weekly. If you have three or more dependents, the maximum is $647 weekly. There are some expanded benefits available because of COVID-19, which I'll talk about next. You may be wondering about the CARES Act and the increased payments available. I'm going to give a brief summary of those programs. The Pandemic Unemployment Compensation Program provides increased payments to new and existing eligible unemployment claimants. You will receive $600 additional weekly benefits. That benefit amount is capped at the amount of your previous weekly earnings. The $600 additional benefits will run from the weeks of March 27th, 2020 through July 31st, 2020. And that money is supposed to be issued this week in Ohio as a separate payment. The Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program covers people who were previously not eligible for benefits, and that would include people like self-employed workers, gig workers, independent contractors, part-time workers, and workers with insufficient weekly wages or work history. It also covers people who have exhausted traditional unemployment benefits, and it provides 39 total weeks of unemployment compensation benefits. This program is effective from January 27th, 2020 through December 31st of 2020. There will be a separate application process for these benefits, and the benefits probably will not be paid until May in Ohio, although they may be setting up an earlier application process so people can start getting in line for the benefits. The Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program provides benefits for people that are eligible for traditional unemployment, and it provides 13 additional weeks of unemployment compensation benefits. That's in addition to the 26 weeks of regular benefits. So what happens if you start working again? Well, you can still get benefits if your gross earnings are less than your benefit amount. You will receive a 20% earned income deduction. Unearned income will be counted dollar for dollar. Some income will be exempted from being counted, such as Social Security benefits, interest and dividends, rental income, and lump sum payments on a 401k plan. So I'm going to take some time now to address some of the questions we received in the comment box. And I'll start, before we start seeing questions coming in, I will start with some questions that we got before the Facebook Live. So somebody wanted to know, would the necessity of staying home with a school-age child to provide care for that child be enough to qualify for unemployment benefits? And yes, this is a reason that people can get unemployment benefits. This would be under the new Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. So that may be a benefit that you would have to wait until May to get, but you should be eligible for that reason. Someone else wanted to know if the additional unemployment benefits were taxable income. And yes, traditionally unemployment compensation benefits are taxable income. The additional $600 is also going to be taxable income. You can ask to have 10% federal taxes withheld from your unemployment check, so that's an option for people. It's also good to know that that additional money is not going to count for purposes of Medicaid eligibility in case people are already on Medicaid or are planning on applying for Medicaid. Somebody else wanted to know if they can't apply for pandemic unemployment assistance benefits right away, will their benefits be retroactive? And yes, those benefits will be retroactive back to the date of the job loss. Someone else wants to know, how long is it going to take to receive your unemployment benefits? And that is generally taking an average of 23 days right now. Again, the system is very bogged down right now, so it was taking about 21 days. It's up to 23 days now. So it's not easy to predict, but that's been the average right now. I'm not seeing any other questions coming in, so I think we're about to sign off. We hope today's event has been helpful to you. The information is current as of today, April 22nd, 2020. We encourage you, if you had specific questions that we couldn't answer, to call our legal aid line at 888-534-1432 or apply online at www.legalaidline.org and tell them you would like to sign up for one of the unemployment clinics. Those are taking place on Friday afternoons. The next one is Friday, April 24th. We'll be back soon to talk about more topics of interest to you, so watch for notifications of our upcoming events. And don't forget to share this to your friends right now so you can always find the video and go back to it. We hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.